What's going on? How are you guys tonight? Some of you might have checked my YouTube community page, where YouTube took down the video where I was walking around Manhattan filming the empty hospitals, and they have made a decision on whether or not my video is allowed. They said, "Dear Frank, thank you for submitting your video appeal to YouTube. After further review, we've determined that your video is in violation of our community guidelines. For more information, please visit the YouTube Help Center." So apparently, you're not allowed to walk around the streets of New York and film anything. So, I mean, if this is the communism that our country has come to, I might have to get a plane ticket somewhere else and get the hell out of here. But how are you guys tonight? I know everyone's still locked inside, so I figured we might as well try chatting about the Toyota Corolla stuff without saying any specific words. As much as I wish there was as much as I wish there were other things to talk about, apparently not. Injections coming real soon. Did you guys hear there was allegedly a hot mic leak where they were saying that the other people already got the injections? And we know that. We know the elite people have cures for diseases where they don't put the negative chemicals in them that they give to us. So go figure. Hope you guys are ready to be injected. I think they're going to be surprised at how many people oppose that stuff. It is kind of crazy how much, like, how controlled Reddit is. It's comical how controlled Reddit is. Carnivore completely healed all of my digestive issues like magic. Jessica, I thought that was because your guts weren't getting rearranged by French boys anymore because you're locked inside now. We should not be eating anything with gluten or legumes. Even rice has gluten. It's hard to justify the consumption of grains in general outside of an enjoyment perspective. They're just less inflammatory sources of carbohydrates. And but the thing is, grains aren't necessarily bad for you. The problem is the negative things that come in those grains as a result of modern agriculture. Wild rice is great. I did a video on wild rice. The hot mic leak was intentional. Yeah, it probably was, but people don't seem to care. It's literally like the sheeple, the herd, is so indoctrinated, is so brainwashed that anything that opposes like their fear that like they need to justify why they're locked inside. You know, they need to justify why they're locked inside. If the average sheep is not able to justify why they're locked inside, they will just oppose any single thing that goes against it. It's like a coping mechanism. It's like, oh wait, if what I've believed in is wrong, then my life is they just can't, people can't deal with the truth for some reason. Way of aerosol, yeah. I mean, who knows what they're spraying in the air too. New York sounds scuffed. Walking is banned now. Yeah, right. It's gonna be banned now that they have all these smart street lamps outside. That's gonna be tomorrow's video. I go to France for architecture and Italy for my guts to be arranged. Get it straight. Hey, what's going on? How are you guys today? Meat boy needs an injection. Yeah, I gotta film my recipe video tomorrow. What can we do to protect ourselves from getting chipped? Don't let them chip you. Grains were for slaves in the old days, so it makes sense why the elites want us on a grain-based vegan diet. The problem isn't necessarily the incorporation of grains into a diet, it's the absence of animal nutrition in the diet. A fairly high percentage of your calories can come from grains and you can still be healthy as long as you're getting enough animal foods. Did you see your governor tell the unemployed to get essential jobs? What an asshole. Yeah, tell me about it. Here in the UK, the government just started digital contact tracing and messages people near infected individuals to alert them. Yeah, that's scary. Human beings are experts at rationalizing the illogical to make sense of their world. Yeah. People will do whatever they can to justify what the state of their life is. They're literally like, if you could literally shackle people up like slaves and they're still justified at this point. Frankie Boy's TikToks are great. I think my TikTok is underrated. The sheeple want to believe what the elite say so badly. They would rather be happy and dumb than open their eyes and see the truth. Have you seen the new AI software they're developing to keep social distancing parameters? Yeah, they need whoever's enforcing these social distancing laws needs to be thrown in a fucking ditch. These frequencies are used to break down the body and for mind control. Yep. I'm freaking out the last couple days. Yeah, what are you gonna do? I mean that's what Masons do. Masons steal other people's information and use their platforms to pretend it's their own. But people actually see the truth, and it's very difficult to build up. It's difficult to build up a base of like followers if all you do is steal information from other people, because those people are originally that member are just going to stick with that original person. Oil stocks are rocking. Yeah, I have no clue how to play the stock market at all. I just know that the majority of people are losing money. Right, he's got a little acne. My face hasn't been looking good, mainly because I haven't gotten any sun. It's easier to fool someone than convince them they've been fooled. Yeah, I say that quote way too much, but it's probably the best quote I have. The social distancing laws are being done over a long period so that they become hardwired into an unconscious habit. Yeah, it's not good. The 6-foot social distancing reminds me of target practice. Someone made a video where they were saying that if people are 6 feet apart, they can be targeted specifically by the radio wave weaponry. If people are in a crowd, the weaponry isn't as effective. All the stores spend money on those expensive high quality stickers for the floors. Yeah, it's weird that they have those, but they don't have toilet paper. I mean, honestly, like it's too hard to care about this stuff. I just do my own thing. You have a backyard, can't you just go there more often for sun? Well, the UV index hasn't been that high in New York, and another problem is I realized the reason I was getting headaches while I was tanning in my backyard, it wasn't from the sun. It's because my neighbor has some type of Wi-Fi device on the side of my house, so I can't tan like where I usually tan on the side of my house. I can't tan there anymore. I was basically getting fried by some type of meter or Wi-Fi device that my neighbor had. I was just getting headaches all the time over there. Have any fresh ground beef packs smaller than 30 pounds? Yeah, honestly, I was thinking about that last night. I was like, you know what? I should probably put, the fresh ground beef as we have fresh local New York ground beef on Frankie's Free Range Meat. It's 30 pounds right now for like 200 something dollars. I can probably do a smaller package. Let me see how many we have left available. I'd have to make a new one. The idea behind putting it at 30 pounds was, yeah, so we still have a lot left. So what I'll do is I'll fix that right now. So I'll duplicate that. Fresh never frozen ground beef. This one will be 15 pounds. So we'll do one at 30 pounds and one at 15 pounds. Just give me 1 second, guys. I want to fix this now so that people can get this if they want it. So that was to calculator. So we had a couple dairy cows slaughtered in at a nearby local farm, and we were supposed to get whole cuts, and we were supposed to do another like beef box, like just like a generic like random cuts, like local beef. Like you get some ground beef, you get some whole cuts, you get some of this, you get some of that. Unfortunately, the butcher. I mean, this is retarded. Like we're just gonna You know, we normally cut up the animals ourselves, but this time we contracted it out, and they messed up. You know, they just ground up the whole animal, and they didn't get us the organ. So now we just have a lot of ground beef available. So if you guys want to go to frankie'sfreerangemeat.com and look under the beef section, we do have fresh, never frozen ground beef available for this week only. So just keep in mind it's only going to be for this week. Does the 30-pound come in 1-pound packages? Yeah, it's 30 1-pound packages in one box. The reason I did 30-pound fresh ground beef box is because if you're following a carnivore diet, you know, 30 pounds of fresh beef, that'll basically be how long it stays good in your fridge. Many people have been begging for the injection, so brainwashed. Yeah, these people don't understand that, like, an injection is not a cure for something. That's not how it works. Any strategies on destroying the weaponry towers? Legally speaking, I don't know who owns the LED lamps and the Wi-Fi towers. I don't know whose property it is. And even if the lamps were not property of the like the FC, like even if the lamps weren't property of the location they're on, like there's a Wi-Fi tower on my local nearby police station. Let's say the tower is owned by the FCC. It doesn't matter because you're trespassing on county PD property. Like, you wouldn't be able to take the tower down. It's a mess. You'd have to convince a lot of people and convince everyone that the towers aren't safe. You know, I'm gonna try to hand out flyers and stuff, but I don't know. Gyms shut till December. Where'd you hear that? If they keep stuff shut down the rest of this year, then they're just gonna flick the towers on and people are really gonna start dying. How do you deal with a family of sheeple? Well, I've been trying to explain to my family that the reason they're doing this is because of food shortage issues, and a year from now you guys aren't going to have food, so I told you so. Some people rent out their private property to sell companies. Will know when it's time. Their rules demand they say the plan in advance and leave you an out. Yeah, one of the big elements of it is these Bible thumper sheeple that don't realize that the Bible was likely written by these people, and the point is for you to give up your free will and believe in their prophecy. Public Service Commission is awfully quiet these days. What do they usually do? Check out the price of weights on Facebook Marketplace. You know what's weird is the commercial gym suppliers aren't that, you know, they're not that busy. Like, you can buy used commercial gym equipment, but not like really cheap stuff for the home. Facebook is banning people that talk about the new Wi-Fi technology. Yeah, if if they're banning and censoring information, that's what it is. We know the towers are dangerous, and we know they're censoring it, so it's going to be hard. There's a petition against the towers. They took down the big petition with like hundreds of thousands of people. They notice people are waking up faster, so
I heard there is going to be a second wave of the virus once we all end lockdown. What do you think?
Well, the whole thing is fake in the first place. So if they're saying it's a second wave, they're going to hit the switch on the Wi-Fi devices. Right now, hospitals are empty and no one's actually dying. They're just faking. They're faking death statistics. They're just slapping a Toyota Corolla label on any single person that dies. That's what if you know, no one's dying outside of hospitals, which is the scary part. Like no one's dying outside of hospitals, and people don't realize that. That means that they're just making shit up. You know, these healthcare workers of this generation are gonna burn in hell for the rest of their lives. All these doctors or nurses that are cooperating with the system and keeping their mouth shut are gonna burn in hell for the rest of their lives, just like all of these other elite satanic pricks. So they're basically telling you that later this year, the second wave, they're going to hit a switch, turn these Wi-Fi devices on, and make everyone very sick. And they're going to send people to the hospital, and that's when it's really going to happen. Ice Age Farmer was definitely correct about what's going on. He's just gone insane over the past couple weeks. Has he been losing it? Has Ice Age Farmer been losing it? It's hard to, I don't really know the situation. It's hard to say if Ice Age Farmer is 100% correct, because every time he brings up articles, it's like cherry picking stuff about the food supply that can be answered. Like, okay, yes, Smithfield shut down these pork plants, but pork sales are way down because of the restaurant stuff, and it's owned by China, so they're probably sending food to China. It's hard to really gauge the state of our current food system if the shelves are still as full as they are. We're gonna have to see a couple weeks from now. Public Service Commission is supposed to protect our privacy during any type of telecommunication. Oh yeah, they haven't been doing their job. The second wave is just to keep us locked in our houses longer. Anyone who uses fear to get their points across is controlled. Yeah, that's the issue. I feel like as much as I want to say that Ice Age Farmer isn't controlled, I have a difficult time believing that he, just because of how he's saying it, like he's not putting a positive spin on it. I'm supposed to travel this fall. I mean, I don't know what they're gonna do. I really don't know. All I can say so far is, you know, people are stupid enough to be locked in their homes. They're installing this Wi-Fi infrastructure weaponry everywhere. You know, there's massive food shortages because whether it's intentional or not, we can just look at the facts and see what's happening. They crashed the economy. They stole everyone's jobs. They're turning it into some sort of socialist communist country. They've convinced all these liberal fucking cuck retards that go to sleep with giant dildos up their asses that it's okay. These people, like, honestly, some of these people deserve to be fucked to death. They're going to keep pushing the open date up until everyone is compliant. Like, what do you mean? Like, keep delaying the reopening until everyone listens? We have to start. I mean, more people have to start protesting. Crazy how these people know there's more to come. It's almost like they're the ones setting it up. Well, I mean, if you've looked at all into this, it's 100% planned and controlled, and they set this up. You know, I was going to repost videos of, like, I mean, there's a document. It's like the what is it called? I think I have it here somewhere. The Scenarios for Future of Technology and International Development report produced by the Rockefeller Foundation and Global Business Network in 2010. So basically, they basically said that they were gonna scenario narratives, lockstep, a world of tighter top-down government control and more authoritarian leadership with limited innovation and growing citizen pushback. In 2012, the issue that hit the world had been anticipating for years finally hit.
Hot mic video would be very easy to fake. The microphone would have to have the settings so that the whole room is audible. We can't see their mouths. The clip can't be found in a full video, and they are speaking as if acting for an audiences.
I mean, it doesn't really matter if the hot mic video is faked or not. What it seems like the current narrative that I'm assuming is going on is it seems like the Trump administration is gonna kind of, I can't tell if the Trump administration is gonna come out and say, oh, all this is fake nonsense, and say you guys have been locked in your homes and for nothing and da. What's fishy to me is the new Wi-Fi stuff and the infrastructure seems off the table regardless of what side people are on. No one seems to be talking No one that's hypothetically controlled opposition is talking about the dangers of this Wi-Fi infrastructure and how and continuing to push it. How much do you think Joe Rogan is getting paid to be a shill? He literally praises Bill Gates on the podcast. I mean, Joe Rogan is just another evil, satanic prick. More and more people realize that now. Over the past like 2 or 3 years or so, Joe lost a lot of his viewership, becoming more and more obvious that he's like CIA. Most of the protests are probably COINTELPRO. It's impossible for them not to have infiltrators. Yeah. How to explain this all to people who only believe in mass media and science? It's kind of funny, like these people think they're so intelligent and smart about non-ionizing radiation, and they don't even know what calcium channels are. You think big bankers, families which faces are barely known by mass would care about people protesting? No, they wouldn't. No, they're locked in some mansion in God knows where. The petrodollar has collapsed. They will never tell anyone. Now there will be hell to pay going forward. The Toyota Corolla is cover and excuse for it all. Joe Rogan pre and post is super obvious. Yeah, no, I mean, it's pretty obvious. People who think they are smart are nothing more than useful idiots. Yeah. Forgot to mention that your video on non-ionizing radiation was outstanding. Really explained the voltage-gated calcium channel as well. Thanks. Yeah, I mean, the fact that that I'm the one explaining this shit to you guys is pretty sad. It's pretty sad there's no one more intelligent that cares about people that's going to explain the mechanism behind how these frequencies affect the body. So you have it basically changes the charge inside your cells, which increases the amount of calcium intracellularly, and that causes a bunch of biochemical reactions where your body can literally just produce so much hormones that causes issues. I'm actually going to do a video next week. Cell phones cause diabetes, something like that. They can force every nation on the planet to get these microchips and injections, or you think we'll have some safe spaces on the planet who reject all this madness? Yeah, I think it's time to move to Texas. Yeah, I want to make flyers myself. I'm just not sure what I'm going to put on the flyer. Can we talk about something else, something funny? The topic is overly juiced at this point. There's so many theories. I think it was made in a lab and they want to get us sick. Again, there's a lot of moving parts to what's going on here. When they talk about the it being made in a lab, what they don't mention is that the person that made it in the lab was trained in the United States. Staged media psyops, business as usual. I mean, what's the scariest part is, I say that a lot. The scariest part is how many people are in on it. If you hypothesize, there's maybe thousands to tens of thousands of people that control everyone, then there's there's probably millions of people in the United States that are part of this narrative that are just like pushing the idea to the sheeple and just and continuing to brainwash people. There's probably millions of people like that are getting paid like mediocre jobs just to be part of the controlled, like a couple million. And then you have probably 5% of the population is focused on controlling the other 90%, and then there's a 5% that actually realize what's going on. Time to move to Texas and buy 50 assault rifles. Scariest part is how many people they're willing to kill. I mean, yeah, it's too much to worry about. Suspect how much money the government is giving away through unemployment and the stimulus check. I've had more money this month than I even do working, like 3 times as much. I haven't gotten my stimulus check, and I don't qualify for unemployment, which is ridiculous. Maybe I should just apply for unemployment to see if I get it. There's so many people who are in on it because most people are greedy, hive-minded, selfish, childish, cowardly, and they think it's cool and funny to be part of an open secret. That's part of it. Low IQ people that don't care. What's up with the phrase flatten the curve? I hear it repeated too many times. Flatten the curve basically means that there's a curve that happens when there's an outbreak or something, and that curve becomes a curve when more and more people get infected. But hypothetically, by staying inside and not going out and doing anything, there is no curve. People don't get infected further. But it's all fake nonsense bullshit to keep the sheeple controlled. Have you ever heard of Dr. Batar? He says the doctors in hospitals are saying it's not viral. I mean, the hospitals are empty, so... And all these doctors are controlled opposition. They're all controlled opposition. Self-employed should qualify for unemployment. Does Wi-Fi affect facial development? Yeah, I mean, early stages of life, it'll mess your facial development up, yeah. It impedes development. The Wi-Fi network, synthetic chemicals, social programming, social engineering will reduce the population big time. They don't need to massacre people, yeah. How do your parents react to your convictions, Frank? I think this puts it best. My dad's response to the doctors dancing in hospitals. Oh well, they must need some joy after seeing so much death and horror. It just completely like brainwashed, justify whatever to say, think it's okay to be locked inside and think it's real. A nurse told me that doctors are losing their jobs because no one is going to the hospital. Yeah, no, you won't see that covered in the news. That nurses and doctors are literally getting fired and let go. The doctors and nurses have time to make TikTok vids. I just don't understand how there's literally millions and millions of healthcare workers in America and none of them are saying anything about this. They're all going along with it, pretending it's real. That's the scary part. I wonder if someone raised the kid right next to a modem, if they would be persecuted for malicious intent. No, their kid would just be incredibly stupid and have low IQ and couldn't think straight. I spoke about it today. There's too much money. It's like modern Wi-Fi is like tobacco companies, except it's necessary. You know, when cigarette companies were making advertisements and saying that smoking, well, I don't know specifics about this, but the assumption was that smoking, it was okay to smoke and smoking wasn't harmful. But smoking is like you going outside and smoking a cigarette. You know, smoking is not integral to your social life. Like going on a smoke break is not a mandatory part of your day. But this new infrastructure, the internet, the modems, the Wi-Fi, the cell phones, all this technology It is essential, and it is very, very involved from a monetary perspective. And there's no way they would let people know that this stuff is dangerous.
What do your family think of your 5G beliefs?
They don't seem to care. They like getting their brains zapped all day. People literally don't care. You know, if you don't follow a high quality diet, if you're not sleeping well, if you're not exercising, you're not going to be able to observe the cognitive differences between being exposed to Wi-Fi and not. They will lose their jobs if they speak out. Yeah, again, all these healthcare workers, these millions of healthcare workers, are so selfish that they'd rather keep their job. But for every healthcare worker that's keeping their mouth shut, there's hundreds of people that are losing their jobs. People are selfish. I have nurse relatives who are having hours cut and being fired, but they're still hiring extra new nurses specifically for the empty tents. It's clear that people are being murdered with ventilators. Yeah, we know that. We know, people know hospitals have been murdering people for years and years and years. The sheeple don't admit it. They trust the doctors. They think the doctors are there to save them and not make money. Were you able to convince your parents to put their phone on airplane mode while they sleep? My parents ignore me. Oh, no, let them sleep with their phone next to their head and blast their
Do
brains
you
like
believe
idiots.
it's possible for people to remember existing before being born or remember being born? What do you think about near-death experiences?
I mean, a lot of your ability to remember and have a good memory is due to not being exposed to these like high frequency environments and having good nutrition. You know, I've met people that remember just about everything in their whole life, and then there are people like me that don't remember anything. It has a lot to do with the magnetic, electric, and radio wave frequencies you're exposed to on a daily basis, what your current state of health is, and it's difficult to fix. My family is the same. My dad started to wake up, but my mom is completely brainwashed, frustrating and sad. You let them slowly erode all of our civil liberties with countless laws, and now you can't even leave your houses. It's very sad. What's in it for the doctors if their patients die? They get paid. Right now, they get paid for actually killing people, which is bad. They get paid for every coronavirus. Oh, almost, I think we said it. They get paid for every Toyota Corolla diagnosis. And when they put people on, you get paid for doing procedures. You bill the insurance company. So if you put someone on a ventilator, that's probably, I don't know, what is it, $5,000, $10,000 a day for being on a ventilator? They're just racking up a bill. And they rack up a bill as long as possible. And if they kill you, they kill you. That's it. That's how it works. Can you EMF proof an apartment? Yeah, you can. There's no money in healthy patients, but there's no money in dead patients either. No, so what they'll do is they'll take you to the brink of death and then let you go. $39,000 per case. It's different depending on the state. Some states get over $100,000 per case. My dad thought I was going crazy, but he's slowly starting to see the truth. It's like pulling teeth. Well, yeah, when there's no meat on the grocery store shelves and they ask me to give them meat, I'm going to fucking laugh. Like, I told you what's going to happen. Like, if I can get a farm, like, if I can get a farm with some loans and see what happens, and then they're asking me, like, when shit hits the fan a year from now, oh, can we come to your farm? Like, what do you think my answer is going to be? Anti-gun movement will be very sorry once they're defenseless against injections and tyranny and locked in their homes 24 hours with no rights. Yep. They'll be real happy they don't have a gun then. My mom's open minded. She'll be like, oh, I can believe it, but then she'll go back to whatever. My brother's like the intelligent person that believes all the government nonsense. What if they seize your farm? Well, we'll have a couple graves dug on the farm before they try to seize it. YouTube has demonetized and removed truther videos about this. I can tell you one thing, it sure is a good time to be an Amish farmer. Yeah, right. I mean, they're making a lot of money anyway if they sell their food. Now they're just doing really well. People are so happy to give up their rights. Watch the YouTube video Out of Shadows. It's controlled opposition bullshit. They don't mention one Wi-Fi tower or anything important. So your brother thinks you're crazy when you talk about this stuff? If you actually listen to a conversation between me and my brother, it's funny. Because I'll bring up like 10 different points and he'll say whatever he can to ignore to just disregard the point. I'll be like, "Okay, why are they setting up LED street lamps when everyone's locked inside? Is that essential work?" No, well, he'll say something to justify anything I say. Whatever I say, he'll hamster, what do they call it? The hamster wheel? What do they call it? The mental gymnastics. He'll mental gymnastic his way to justifying an answer around it. They're willing to accept injections. They have no idea of what they contain. No, it's funny. Like if you say, "Oh yeah, let me get injected," and you ask the person what's in it. Oh well, they have what's in it online. Really? You trust them telling you what's in it? What's the other one? It's like what was the other one? Oh, I can't remember. It's like people are worried about the Toyota Corolla, and you ask them what like a VIRUS even is, and they can't answer. Sounds like a good politician. Do you think Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez is hot? That seems like a controlled opposition question. Or no, that seems like a shill question to get me to say something I'm not supposed to say. I think you know what I'm going to say about that. Most people don't have an answer as to why they're setting up these towers, but they don't think it's related. They're retarded if they don't think it's related. Most people would rather stay duped. I thought you guys were going to bring up some, did we bring up anything else, like, new today? Recently?
I red-pilled my mom with pedogate etc. and she believes it. But she still listens to Oprah. And when I allude to Oprah not being a good person, she is willfully ignorant and says, well, IDK about that. I think the truth is somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, people aren't too bright. People don't have like the logic, black and white thinking. Guys, the joke, I was going to say it was a man, but okay, you guys can say whatever you want. Most people are just plain lazy. every person mentioning one aspect of this every person that's mentioning one aspect that seems true is controlled opposition, and it seems like what they're doing is they're trying to gather people dependent on what belief they have. They're trying to get one guy to talk about the Wi-Fi and the cell towers and see how many people are interested in that. They're getting one guy to talk about other stuff and see how many people are interested in that. All I know, there's a whole lot of controlled opposition going on, and they're gathering information based around it. For what reason, I don't know. They're gauging how many people believe the pedogate stuff. They're gauging how many people believe the Wi-Fi stuff. They're gauging how many people believe other stuff, and they're getting a synopsis of how many people oppose them and how many people they have to make this appear. It's like you guys are arguing about what shape the fucking Earth is, and they're setting up Wi-Fi towers in front of your house. You guys are idiots. I don't know what to tell you. Tracking our data to put us on a hit list. That's the thing that makes the most sense. Just track everyone, and then when the blackout comes later this year, just make those people disappear. And then they only have sheeple that will do whatever they want. I believe the Toyota Corolla is real, but that the numbers are inflated for fear-mongering reasons. Am I a brain-dead shill? No, I mean there's moving parts to this. I've said in past videos, the Toyota Corolla is likely real, but what makes so just to go over it, it appears that the Toyota Corolla is real. It was made in a lab. It's not really that dangerous. It only seems to be dangerous to people that have a compromised immune system or are under heavy Wi-Fi stress, or basically, and any healthy person that's in a good metabolic state is not going to have any issue with this. And there's statistics saying that like the high percentage of people go through this without any symptoms whatsoever. So regardless of it being real, regardless of it being made in a lab, it's not dangerous, and they definitely overreacted to what's happened. Now, that brings us to the other things. What did they do? They crashed the economy. They crashed the middle class. All these big businesses are profiting greatly. Amazon, all that shit, Walmart. The small businesses are closed, but big businesses are considered essential. Like, how the fuck does that make any sense? You can go to a Walmart or a supermarket, but you can't go to a restaurant. Like, that makes zero fucking sense. So they're intentionally, one big element is they're intentionally destroying the middle class, taking away your jobs, taking away your savings, devaluing the dollar, destroying the economy. And the rich are basically getting richer. That's one element to it. They're installing Wi-Fi infrastructure and surveillance infrastructure in our towns and cities while we're locked inside, and schools. There's multiple aspects to this, and we can piece it all together and see what they're planning on doing pretty easily. The point is that we need to oppose it. The point is that all of these things, whether you believe them as truth or not, the point is that a lot of this has been planned, and we need to oppose it. You're just arguing about the point of arguing about these points is there's no reason to argue about this. It's the term divide and conquer. They get men to argue with women. They get kids to argue with adults. They get white people to argue with black people. They get the population to fight against each other as opposed to agreeing on something and fighting against the elites. I sent you an email about the organ supplements, but you said they're in transit. The last update was on the 12th. I think I just responded to your email. Would you simp for Kylie Jenner if you had to be her BF? Only if her cock was bigger than mine. They just built a casino for billionaires, which is their safe haven right now in Saipan, which is a remote island next to Guam, and completely messed up the natives' economy. Are we heading towards the hammer and sickle? I think we're already there. They figured out what people depend on and will use it to control us, basically. Cooking video this Saturday. Yeah, I gotta cook tomorrow. What happened with the Occupy Wall Street? They made a disease come out when they were doing Occupy Wall Street, right? Now there's no one protesting, despite them bailing out the bankers again. Why didn't they make it more deadly? That's up in the air. How to deal with agents coming to make you disappear? Should we try to take as many of them with us as possible? Well, if they have agents that are going to make people disappear, like, it's not going to matter. Like, unless you're like locked up in a bunker where they can't find you, it's not going to matter. You know, these are evil military people that are trained. I don't know what convinces these people that it's that someone could be so evil to, you know, take someone out of their homes for trying to help people, but there's no point in worrying about it. You know, they have this surveillance infrastructure installed. They know where you are at all times. They know where you are at all times of the day. They know your patterns and what you do. You know, there's no, you don't have a chance if this is all true. Rosendale, New York is full of underground bunkers for the elite. What is that, like slightly north of Manhattan? That makes sense. It's like not too far. It's not too far north of Manhattan, but it's like close to New York City, but it's not too far away. How do people say avoid milk when you're sick because it causes mucus? Is that true? Might be lower quality milk. I don't know. It's mutating. I saw an article today that it's now causing strokes in otherwise healthy 30 to 40 somethings. So, so a viral infection now causes strokes. Do you guys genuinely believe this shit? Hold on, let's see this. It's mutating. Oh no, it's not mutating. You're just realizing there are different symptoms to Wi-Fi now. This is ridiculous dog shit. When they do turn on the Wi-Fi, are you going to join in burning down those towers? I mean, I don't know how that's going to work. I don't know if you're going to be able to convince enough people to take the towers down. Like, dude, I would have gone over to that fucking police station with an angle grinder 2 weeks ago and cut that shit down. I don't give a shit. Does the grand solar minimum come into play? I mean, I don't know what to believe anymore, to be honest. They say it causes blockage of blood vessels now. It's the Wi-Fi. It's like all these are symptoms of 60 gigahertz Wi-Fi technology. Man, you keep this Q&A and you don't answer nutrition questions instead of everything else apart from that? What do you mean? Most of the past few live streams, people haven't even wanted to ask me nutrition questions. I stroked out a viral load last night. The world will become like that episode of Black Mirror, Nosedive. I stopped watching Black Mirror. I just didn't like the show. Now I know why. All the 130 plus underground bunkers are connected via super monorail maglev trains traveling at twice the speed of sound, Mach 2. Yeah, who knows what's going on under there. I mean, that's where the trillions of dollars of tax money are going to build underground cities for the elite. You would think more people would come out about it and more people would know about it. Do you save the fat when you make bone broth? Yeah, you can cook with it and stuff. Video on how to cook the short ribs, hopefully Saturday. Why oysters over mussels? Higher fat content, higher B vitamins. They're both good. How long would a baby be breastfed in nature? Probably 2 to 4 years. Minimum 2 years. What's up with people talking about lizard people? I don't know. I don't know what to believe at this point. I don't really care. Make another vegan parody. Yeah, I mean YouTube's been censoring my channel more and more heavily. I'm getting more and more discouraged. Get what you need now. The only things getting cheaper are the homes and cars no one will be able to afford. Yeah, I was thinking about how the car dealerships are going to do moving forward. They're going to be screwed. What's your opinion on Russia's part in this? Well, they don't have Wi-Fi infrastructure and no one's getting sick. I'll tell you that. Can you keep Carnivore QA at 10 a.m. PST so it's suitable for us folks from Asia? I mean, the majority of my viewership is Europe and the United States. That's why I do it at 2 p.m. on Saturday. Everyone's lost their minds. Yeah, I mean, basically, everyone's locked inside watching the news. They got what they wanted. What's the psychological warfare operation is successful. Yeah, the halloumi is really, really good. I had to stop eating that. I would eat the whole thing. On your analytics, do you have more males or females on your channel? I think it's about 50-50. I don't check that stuff. I don't worry about it anymore. This is the Great Reset Plan reduction in the economy to ease the burden of the crash. Locking everyone in. I mean, this isn't exactly easing the burden. When everything Americans believe is false, our misinformation campaign will be complete. William Casey, CIA agent, head under Reagan. When everything Americans believe is false, our misinformation campaign will be complete. Yep. Yeah, CIA is literally the worst organization in the world. And Corn Faker used to be. Corn Faker was likely in the CIA. He's ex-military. Why do you think I'm so against these people? Literally the best advice you can give someone is to turn off the news. Yeah. How closely are you watching about food shortages? Are you worried? It's hard to say what's going to happen because it seems like they're intentionally collapsing the food supply. It seems like what they're doing is intentional. Why are your lips always dry? Not a good look when you sell a lip balm. Yeah, I haven't been using it lately. Georgia Guidestones don't lie. What do you mean Georgia Guidestones don't lie? They were put up in like 1980 by some faggots. Like, what do you think the Georgia Guidestones are? Some demonic faggots. Can I even say that word? I don't care anymore. The world's ending. I'm going to say the F word. Some demonic faggots put up the Georgia Guidestones in 1980. What's the first thing you plan to do when the lockdown ends? Figure out how to build. I'm legit gonna. I'm gonna buy like a truck full of cinder blocks, drive like 2 hours north, and build a fucking hut and have no one bother me. That's what I'm gonna fucking do. I'm gonna try to get some loans and get the fuck away from here. Oh, Frank, you're terrible. Oh no, you said the hard F. Oh no. a hard F. People do need some quiet time. Silence is the... Yeah. Oh my god, Frank is homophobic. That's fucking funny. The ultimate control. Control the food, you control the people. Yep. How is the food supply collapsing? Grand solar minimum causing weather where we can't grow certain crops, which is causing food shortages. I don't watch that, Leonard. I didn't watch. I've never seen the show Ozarks. Are you still spending your stimulus check on Russian girls and cocaine? If you want an honest answer to that question, I haven't found a Russian girl that I deem is worth $1,200. How did you learn to say things without caring what other people think? Because I know I'm probably smarter than them. Bald, fat guys trying to discredit you again. Yeah, maybe if their hair grows back, I'll give them some credit. Frankie, my son loves homeschool. My wife is doing all his homework. Frankie, blink thrice if you think they have long-range mind control tech. I'm not necessarily sure if you can control someone's mind with a device. I think you can put thoughts in their head and change their behavior, but actually, like, the idea of mind control, I think that's something that needs to be done in like a closed setting where you actually have access to the person. Like they have mind control programs, and there are people that are mind controlled. I'm just not sure if you can do it that easily. I think it requires like literally having someone locked in a room and doing certain things to them. No Russian girl is worth $1,200, $600 at most. Frankie boy, yeah, we're looking at the $600 range. What about Victoria? She seems worth $1,000, right? Who's Victoria? Was that the girl I went on? What was the girl's name I went on the vegan date with? Was her name Victoria? Oh shit, what was her name? I don't think her name was Victoria. Oh no, you're talking about Victoria Ciro, the vegan Russian model on YouTube. Oh, that's who you're talking about. Okay, that's who you're talking about. Leonard, I don't watch these TV shows you're talking about. Who is Victoria? Victoria Ciro is this like this vegan Russian model that we watch all the time when we do vegan critiques. Somehow they're reading our minds already. Think about something and you'll get an ad about it on your Instagram. Perhaps Iris reading or something. That happened to me earlier. I forgot what it was with. I was thinking about something and I got an advertisement for it on Amazon, which kind of creeped me out. But let me see if I can remember what it was. I don't remember, but this happened to me earlier. I was thinking of something when I was sleeping, and I woke up and I got an advertisement for it on my computer. It was blood flow restriction training. Girls drop their standards now. They need that money. All is forgiven now, boys. Alex Jones is just controlled opposition. Careful, Frank. They'll use hot Russian vegan girls to seduce you. I'm okay with that. Amazon is banking right now. Definitely going to boycott them. Yeah, we should definitely bank. I'm going to take my... I was thinking of taking my products off of Amazon. I was working so hard for the past year to try to get my products on Amazon. Now I'm just thinking about fuck it. But then again, it's kind of like, well, why not put the products on Amazon and steal Amazon's customers? That seems like a better way. Did you go to sleep late again? No, I couldn't. I couldn't fall asleep last night. I think it's because I forgot to take copper. How do we deal with heterophobic intolerance? I don't even know what heterophobic is. What do you mean? Like people don't like straight people anymore? How long have we been going? Yeah, we'll go for like 10, 15 more minutes, guys. The reason you don't have a girlfriend is because you're very picky and judgy. You sound like a fucking bitch. Remote mind control using radio frequency is old science. Voice to skull, remote manipulation of the body. Victoria Zero is a robot. She speaks with her refrigerator. Yeah, that joke someone made the other day was really funny. It's illegal to be straight. Have you tried melatonin? Being straight is homophobic. The fact that Wi-Fi causes mental or mood disorders shows they can use tech to control thoughts. Frank doesn't like us anymore. Remember when he did 3-hour live streams? We're boring now. I used to do 3-hour live streams, but now like I get half as many viewers because it's on the new channel. My YouTube channel is getting censored, and I'm honestly like exhausted all the time from working so hard to it's like I've worked so hard, I've spent so much money to grow my YouTube channel, and it like hasn't paid off. And it's looking more and more likely like it's not going to pay off because of how much YouTube is censoring me. So at this point, what's the point in fucking worrying about it? I'm not even making enough money for it to be worth it. Like I'm making as much money in a month that I would make from unemployment in a week. So why am I working so hard? Are you gonna unlist or delete this video? I mean, no. The only thing I really said was faggot, so I'm cool with leaving this up. Why do you think Jones is a shill? Anyone who has a large enough platform to be known by millions of people is a shill. It's why my videos get taken down and why my channel gets censored. Yet other people talk about the same thing and they get millions of views. Have you tested the Wi-Fi on your toothbrush? It's very high. I doubt my toothbrush emits Wi-Fi. I'll go test it though. Nosedive is the episode where everyone has access to social media through some kind of contact lens in their eyes. Everything in life is connected to social media. 15 million merits is the episode where people live in front of television screens. They work on an exercise bike, playing games and watching shows and watch advertisements all day. I saw that one. It's like you got, it's like you would get points for riding the bike a certain distance and you could spend that on stuff. Remember when Frank responded to all comments with the licky face? I remember that. Frank used to react to everyone with smile. Yeah, when I had like a few thousand subscribers, I would respond to everyone's comment with a smiley face. Now I just like it, the comment with the heart. I still read all the comments on my channel. Starting Monday, we have to wear a mask or get fined $1,000. Where? Does anyone know one person who volunteered to do a test? Yeah, those people that volunteer to do a test are basically getting, injected with the infection. What needs to be understood about Alex Jones is he will say what's popular, mix some truth in, then mislead people with agenda BS. Yeah, that's what they all do. They say some truth to get you in there, and then Frank's getting crabby. He's reading our chats in the nerd voice. Have you seen 1984? No, I haven't. I don't know who Jeff Censored is. The mask is to shut us up, humiliate people, and make it difficult to communicate. Everything they do has a reason behind it. Yeah. Why do you think Alexis Wren looks male? I don't think Alexis Wren looks like a dude. I think she hasn't been looking good lately, though, with all the Botox and her face bloating. I'm eating as healthy as I can, but I feel like I'm deteriorating just being home and not being outside. It could be blasting yourself with Wi-Fi devices. Are you going to live stream and grill on the 4th of July like last year? Yeah, we'll see. You said she's in one of your live streams? Maybe I did. I don't remember. It's not fresh
You
in my
don't
mind.
give people donating enough attention. People don't like to donate to someone like you because you barely care and you don't thank them for their donation. Other YouTubers spend more time answering donations. You don't.
Well, what I usually do is I give people an extended answer to their donation question, and I usually just leave it at that. I definitely give more attention to donation questions, but I don't like doing what you're implying because there are a lot of YouTubers that don't talk to the chat in general. Like most YouTube live streamers will literally they'll just ignore the chat and they'll only answer donation questions. That or they'll just do their own thing. So what I try to do is if someone donates, I give them, an in-depth answer to their question and I respond to it. That's basically the donation basically guarantees that I'll give you an answer or response to your question regardless of what it is. And if people want like a more in-depth explanation to something, then they would usually donate more money, like $5, $10, or $20, and then I'll give them a really in-depth answer. Otherwise, I usually just recommend people. Otherwise, I usually just recommend people watch a video, one of the videos I've done to answer the question. I don't know who that is. Stardust. Can you do a blue cheese dip recipe? Maybe. I'm glad you don't do that. Shilling for donations, chat. I mean, I might make a decent amount of money doing that, but I just don't care. I don't know why you keep asking about royal jelly. Where's the donation button at? This YouTube channel doesn't have 10,000 subscribers, and it probably never will. So you got to go to the Streamlabs link down below, which is in the description. And if you donate through Streamlabs, your message will be read on the stream. Cod liver nutritional profile. I think I spoke about it in the cod liver videos I've done. Go outside and quit being a pussy. If you don't want to wear a mask, don't wear a mask. Well, the main reason to wear a mask is not because you think it's real. It's because other people give you shit if you don't wear one. Cheese tasting at Frankie's Free Range Meat coming soon. We'll do a cheese tasting if we have a lot of cheese to sell. I'm not sure if we currently do. I think people saying to buy gold and silver are shilling. Yeah, we don't have super chat because we don't have enough subscribers. I don't think we're gonna get to 10,000 subs on this channel. Man, what's up with my? I just put my fingers in my eyes and they're burning really bad. Man, what did I just do? God. You can't buy groceries or enter a pharmacy without a mask now? Frank, you have 3 businesses, you have YouTube, and you have a job. How do you do that? I'd be dead. Yeah, I don't even make that much money, which is the crazy part about it. Should I convert all my savings into gold? I think they're gonna crash gold. Man, my eyes are even red now. I'm gonna go wash my hands. Buying gold because the US dollar just got inflated through the roof isn't shilling. What freshwater fish is good to eat? I think it depends more on the quality of the water. Can't wait until everything is collapsed so the sheep really feel the pain. They're probably going to buy back all the gold or make it impossible to trade. Yeah, I wouldn't trust the gold. Go and buy physical gold bullion off
You don't
eBay.
need to worry about people telling you how to run your channel. Just be Frankie. The face that we all know and love.
Yeah, it's just discouraging because, you know, at what point, you know, how many videos do I have to make to to grow my channel? At this point, it's like, how much longer am I willing to stick it out? Why do you think gold pushers are shills? Because every single person that's been saying buy gold has like some sort of affiliate link for gold. Frank, you think Toyota Corolla stopped your wife's period? She's like 2 weeks late. Wi-Fi can do that.
Keep doing what you do. You're perfect.
Wi-Fi can cause a lot of cellular stress and fertility issues. Hey Stephanie, thanks so much. That's very generous of you. Let me know if you placed an order with Frankie's Free Range Meat or anything. I'll make sure to throw in some extra stuff next time you place an order. Do you have any mentors? No. I just looked up gold prices. People hanging on to gold have been losing money for 4 decades. That's fucking funny. When everything collapses, the sheep will ask for the one world government. Yup. Freshwater fish are low quality unless you're fishing for wild trout in the mountains somewhere. Sweden's approach to Corolla herd immunity. Alright guys, we'll wrap this up in 5 minutes. So if you guys have any more questions, just make sure to get them in the chat. And if you guys are watching this at a later time, leave a comment down below. What are you going to do if YouTube, Frankie's Free Range Meat fails? They're not going to fail. It's just that YouTube might not necessarily be the best growth channel You know, despite all the money I've spent in advertising, I might have to focus on something else. You didn't cover your sources in the Carnivore video? I stopped covering my sources ever since people started plagiarizing my information. So now they at least have to do a little bit of work to find the sources. And usually these idiots that plagiarize my information are too lazy to find the sources. You aren't going to grow your channel because you use insulting words and bash people. Most people are going to boycott that sort of behavior. I disagree with that, and I write the script. I've written the script and reviewed every single video I've done for the past 2 months, and everything has been positive and educational. So if you're going to try to justify that the reason my channel isn't growing is because I've made one mean video once a month, that's completely ridiculous. It's blatantly obvious that YouTube is censoring my channel, that there's groups of vegans and carnivores gang stalking me, and whoever's and the people that are in control of the system obviously don't want my channel to be in the algorithm. Well, no, you're claiming I'm doing some sort of behavior, but that's absolutely not true. When I've only done a handful of videos that exhibit that behavior to call out people maybe several times a year.
Frankie, have you heard of the Indian Dr. Haywood Jablomi?
That sounds like something the controlled opposition would say when your channel's getting censored to justify it. BitChute time. I made a BitChute, but like I didn't put a space between Frank and Tefano, and now no one finds me on BitChute. And I tried to change my name a couple times, but it wouldn't change. Should I buy your book or Weston Price's? I think my book's a lot cheaper. You can always get both. Frank, you called me a bitch. You're rude. Okay, but if I'm right, does that make me rude? If some girl goes around and fucks 10 dudes in 2 nights and I call her a whore, am I being rude? I might be rude, but that doesn't mean I'm wrong. Do a makeup test? I don't need to do a makeup test. My face is breaking out like fucking crazy. So if gold is a bad asset, what do you recommend as an investment to preserve one's wealth? I don't know. I think everything's fucked. YouTube will be one world oriented soon. Why don't you combine your 3 businesses into one? What do you mean, like sell everything on the same website? Did the fans like the live workout video? No, mainly because it wasn't too interactive. Frank, do you browse Looksmax? No, I don't, but maybe a couple of times people have brought that up to me, and I've seen my videos posted on there, but I don't look into that stuff. Do you use iodine on pimples? I've been washing my face with iodine the past few days, but usually if you put iodine directly on something, it'll darken it the next day. It'll be more obvious. So what if a guy fucks 10 girls in one night? That's okay? You really want me to answer that question?
Been following a high-quality carnivore diet with the exception raw honey and organic potatoes. Now I have swollen lymph nodes in my neck. I recently had raw milk.
It's hard to say. I mean, you know, whenever I consult with people, I make sure that they're getting enough of certain nutrients, that they're getting vitamin D, they're getting copper, they're getting magnesium, they're getting vitamin K2, that everything is synergistic and it's balanced. Usually most people are zinc dominant. Usually the diet is zinc dominant. So my suggestions would be make sure that you're sourcing a clean water, clean water that doesn't have halogens in it. Make sure you're supplementing copper. Maybe experiment with an iodine supplement. I mean, I'd really have to see the whole context of your diet and do somewhat of a consultation to give you a full answer. I think you might have to do like an updated carnivore diet synopsis video on how to do it right. So what if a guy fucks 10 girls in one night? Is that okay? Okay, so first of all, if you're even able to get 10 girls in one night as a guy, that's an achievement, let alone keep your dick hard for that long. As a girl, you just have to walk up to 10 dudes and let them stick it in. Those are two very drastically different things. I mean, it's I wouldn't I mean, you could call both of those people whores, but it's much more difficult to do that as a guy. I matched with Frank on Tinder. I installed Tinder 2 weeks ago for the quarantine, and I uninstalled it last week. I gave up already. A guy who fucks 10 girls in one night is called a rock star. I mean, the boys in the chat have their own opinions on that. Oh, so it's okay because it's a challenge for guys. I think we should wrap this up before we get the ladies mad with this conversation. You want? I've never used Bumble. Have you consulted someone with cancer? I have before. Not recently, but I have in the past. Me too. I feel like giving up on the dating apps. I feel like I have to act like a court jester. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that shit, so that's why I don't do it either. My point is that you're full of double standards. Oh, don't no. There's no planet where a lady is gonna tell me I'm full of double standards. Angelina, when did you? If you emailed me today, I'll get back to you tonight. He's a hypocrite. Frank, you triggered Jessica. I think she's triggered every day anyway. All right, guys, we're gonna wrap this up. I'm gonna go get something to eat. Thank you guys for joining me. We'll have the video every day this week as usual, and the next live stream will be Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern time. I think we will do a vegan critique live stream on Saturday. So I'll see you guys then. You guys enjoy the rest of your night.